Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me once again. My name's Alex. This is episode 19 of That CNFT Show. Thank you very much for joining me. I finally got back to doing part 3 of my series on from calendars to drop days. If you missed part 1, that was about the calendar sites themselves. Part 2 was about Twitter. And what the premise of the series was supposed to be was that I was talking about consumers, and as someone who's looking at whether or not they're interested in buying an NFT or becoming part of a community that's based around a project, what are some things to look for? And I was kind of talking about red lights, yellow lights, and green lights. And what it turned into also was a little bit of a best practices for setting up your project and setting up your website or Discord or Twitter in order to make sure that you have a successful launch. So thank you to everyone for your feedback on those episodes and what I've talked about so far. If you want to go back and watch those, there's not much to miss. You don't have to watch them in any particular order. But I am finally back to ready to do part 3. So part 3 today is talking about Discords and websites. So Discords, now I've been slow to adopt Discord. I've had some good experiences lately, but particularly when I first started with Discord, it just kind of seemed like everyone was kind of shouting all at once. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but I am always between 90 and 100 Discords that I'm a member of. Not that I'm active in all of them. I've probably cut it down to maybe 12 or 15 that I try to check in on every day. But if I have to go in and look for some information, confirm a drop date, if I have a question for the creators, if I want to see what's going on in the community, maybe enter a giveaway, those are some of the reasons why I might enter a project's Discord. And so just tons and tons and tons and tons of notifications all the time. However, we're going to talk today about some of the things that I look for as part of a healthy community in a Discord, and some of the ways that you can make it a better experience for yourself if you're a participant, or if you're setting it up for people who are looking to come in and hopefully purchase your product. We'll talk about some of those best practices too. So one of the first things that I always look for is the organization of the Discord well laid out. Is it easy to find the things you're looking for? Much as in the same way I talked about prominently displaying your drop date and information at the top, right at the top of your Twitter page, the same should be said of your Discord. I know that there's several where there are just hyphenated hashes at the top, and this is a good place to put your drop date and time in UTC and the price, I hope. One of the things I mentioned on Twitter today is about looking for this information when it can be almost hidden, is if I have to go into your Discord and go and scroll through several of your announcements in your announcements thread, that's a barrier to entry, and it creates friction between the purchaser and the seller, and basically we don't want that. So there are some projects obviously where I'm so in love with the art or the utility that something so small might not get in the way. But it's best to remove those barriers and make it as seamless a process as your buyer is looking for. Put the information about your drop date right at the top. Another thing that I'm looking for is the general chat active and engaged. Are the creators in there? Are there mods there? They should be looking for questions about the project, be welcoming to new members, and there should be a general, not necessarily 24/7. I know that's not possible for every project, particularly if there's a small team that can't be in Discord all the time to moderate or to answer questions. But there should be a lot of activity, or at least some activity, whenever you go back and check on this Discord. If the drop date is tomorrow and the only reason I'm in there is to check on when that drop is, and there is absolutely nothing posted in the Discord, that's a red flag, obviously. So as I said in the previous 2 episodes, if Twitter is your storefront and Discord is inside the store, it's a lot easier to make a purchase from a store if there's other people walking around and looking at things and buying things. If you go by a store that has a beautiful storefront, maybe some products you're interested in, and there's absolutely no one inside, you go, oh, why isn't anyone else? Do I have the right opinion here, or is everyone else onto something that I'm missing? So those are things that I'm looking for in an active and engaged community. One of the things that I do like is a not absolute hard line about talking about other projects. Now, this can either be in a straight up shill thread where literally all it is, post your invite contest links. If you're from another project, or if you want someone to like and subscribe, I think Discord should be set up so that people have a space to do that. Give them a shill zone, give them a person follow person thread where they can post their Twitter or I post my YouTube link in there. But in the general chat, I think there should be a little bit of leeway for talking about other projects that people are excited about. Now, that's not to just drop into a conversation and say, hey guys, come check out this project. It's going to 10x, blah, 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 all the scummy stuff that we've talked about. But if there is a space where you can say, hey, I like this other project that's coming out. Anyone heard of it? Or I've also been in Discords where the mods or the creators will straight up say, hey, anyone minting anything cool in the next couple days? And allowing space for community members to talk about things they're interested in, excited about, art that they want to share. We all love NFTs. We all love digital art. We all love the utility of NFTs and what they're going to offer in the future. So there should be a little bit of room in even your general chat for allowing people to talk about basically whatever they want to talk about. I have been in a couple Discords lately where threads are further broken down. Block Owls has a anime chat. There's places where you can kind of break it down and offer places for people to participate without leaving your Discord. And these are all great ways to build community without taking anything away from your own project. So if all those things are present in a Discord, that's a really good sign to me, looking to see whether I want to join that community and whether or not I want to make a purchase. Another important one is giving people ways to interact with the project that aren't just buying and holding and showing off ones that they own themselves. Maybe this is something that is more important leading up to a drop date, but things like fan art contests, meme contests, these are all ways of engaging the community, and these are really important. A couple things that I don't like necessarily, Discord invite contests. I think that there's a way to reward people for bringing other people into the community, but only if it's in a genuine way. I know that anyone who's on Discord is familiar with getting a dozen spam messages, DMs a day in Discord with just an invite link and say, hey, check out this project. And if it's from a person that I have no affiliation with, I've never heard of before, their profile picture has nothing to do with the project that they're shilling, I know that they're just trying to get some ADA or to win a free spot on a whitelist or to win a free NFT. And that's not enough to make me click on the link and join that community. It's probably going to turn me off. I do not like CaptchaBot. I find it unnecessarily complicated, and I don't understand how when it takes you away from Discord that you then have to sign back into Discord on a web browser. So there are other ways to verify. Maybe that's just a pet peeve of mine. But all in all, as we talked about in the previous episode, if Twitter is the storefront and Discord is the inside of the store, maybe those are some of the ways to improve your customers and your community's experience while they're in the store. So, one other thing I wanted to say about Discord was basic safety procedures leading up to and the day of a drop. We've seen it happen a couple of times where people posting payment addresses where they shouldn't be. So I think as a best practice overall, projects should institute muting everyone except one person in one place, being very clear that that is where the address is going to be posted, and not allowing anyone else to talk during that time. There is obviously, there's people who are going to scam if they can get away with it by impersonating creators, by posting addresses. But now that we all know that that can happen, there is an onus of some responsibility on the project creators and team themselves to take those basic safety measures if they are going to post an address in their own Discord. So look out for that. All right, websites. So as we spoke about with both Twitter and Discord, right at the top of your website, you should be pointing to those two other things and have that little bird logo and that little, what is the Discord logo? Whatever the Discord logo is, you should have that right up at the top. If the Twitter, Discord, and website are three corners of a triangle, each of those corners should point at the other two to be as seamless as possible. Now, again, is this enough to turn me off of purchasing a product? No, but it's a sign of, did you dot all your I's and cross all your T's? Did you check all your boxes? Did you double check that everything works? If there's something that's missing, it may be a sign of quality assurance about the rest of the project. Again, it's not enough to take me, they didn't put their Twitter at the top of their website. That's not enough to take me out of it, but if there's a lot of other little things that they seem to have not executed on well, then not putting their Twitter or not putting their Discord on their website is one thing that doesn't bode well for the rest of the project. Just like with Twitter and Discord, the drop information, if you've posted it yet, should be right at the top of a project's website. And a note quickly, a particular bugaboo of mine, because I look at a lot of these websites trying to figure out drop day information. If you post a countdown, please post the date and time in UTC right underneath it as well. Countdowns are a great way to build excitement, to get someone hyped up as they're getting ready for something to happen, but countdowns are not the way in which humans interact and tell each other when to be someplace. If my girlfriend says, "Hey, what time is your doctor's appointment tomorrow?" and I say, "Oh, it's in 14 hours and 32 minutes, she's going to think I'm nuts and get mad at me because I didn't answer her question. So if you put a countdown on your website, put the actual date and time right next to it so that your users don't have to use math to figure out when to show up to buy your stuff. Again, it's not a big deal, and I will overlook it if there's other things about the project that I like. I will do the mental gymnastics of figuring out when I'm supposed to be there. But just remove that barrier from people's minds and say, yes, our drop is in 14 and a half hours because it occurs at 1300 UTC or whatever. Now, if you are on a website and one of the Discord links does not work or is expired, I would, if you care about the community, take the opportunity to go to Twitter and DM them, send them a message somewhere else, because I understand that some things might get missed or some things might get broken. It took me a while to learn how to post a Discord link that didn't expire after 7 days. And project creators, I understand, are very busy and have a lot of things to do. But the opportunity to fix something that's broken, if you find it, if they take your advice and make the change right away, that's a really good sign that they are accountable and they are responsible and they want to give everyone a good experience. if I find a broken Discord link and I say something and they either don't do anything or say, pound sand, that's not a really good experience. And I don't have a lot of faith that if anything else goes wrong, they're going to be able to fix it. The biggest thing for me when I am visiting a website is I'm looking for examples of the art. Twitter is maybe, one or two things at a time and it gets released on a drip. Discord, you could put a gallery in or have a sneak peeks thread where you reveal more of your work. But I think that ideally websites should have, the more art available from your project, the better. This might not always be possible with 10,000 PFP drops, but there have been instances in the last few months that I saw a project where just seeing a couple of examples of their art, I was turned off. I didn't like it. And then on drop day, when I saw more accessories, more details, more variants, I thought, wow, I didn't hit the mark on this one. I will admit I missed out on DGen Crypto Club because of this same idea. I wasn't a huge fan of that first profile picture that they shared, and it's my fault, but I kind of got turned off by it and didn't pay them too much more attention until on drop day I started to see some of the other things that they had come out with, and I thought, this is a really high quality project. I just hadn't seen enough of it to understand that at first. So I think the more of your art that you can show, give more examples of what you're doing and whether it has quality and how much work you're putting into it, that's a really good way to convince people that your art is legit. And the last but not least is the general quality of the website. Is the layout easy to use? Is the information that you're looking for easy to find? When you scroll up and down, do weird things happen? And for me, a big thing is, does the art and general layout and feel of the website match the art of the NFTs in the project themselves? Because again, anyone could slap together with a website builder in half an hour the general information, a table with the FAQs and a few profile pics or a few pictures of the art. But if the art that's in the project is not reflected in the quality of the website as well, again, that's just something that feels off to me, and it doesn't make me think that I'm going to have a seamless or quality of an experience. So those are some things to think about when you're looking at a project's website. Now, I've talked about a lot of stuff these past 3 episodes, talking about calendars to drop dates. So if you have anything that you think I've missed out on, please drop a comment in the YouTube video comment section below, or hit me up on Twitter when I post this episode and tell me something that I missed. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back in a couple of days. I'm actually going to film it right now with another episode talking about some projects I'm excited about. And until then, thanks very much for joining me. Bye-bye.